Councillor Dan Saw's the leader of Harlow Council. You've published these 5 priorities. Can you tell us a little bit more about 5 priorities and how this come about and how you're going to deliver them?
Yeah, absolutely. One of the things that councillors hear all the time is the issues that matter most to residents. And I know that for too many residents, they feel that Harlow Council does not deliver for them. And that's what we're going to change. We are going to focus on these 5 priorities, and they are the residents' priorities, so they are our priorities, and that is the sole focus of the council this year: to fix council housing, to restore pride in Harlow, to rebuild our town, to secure investment into Harlow, and to improve council services. Those are the people's priorities, they are our priorities, and that's what we'll deliver this year.
Are these ambitious, or are they modest? Are they small c conservative? How would you describe them?
Yeah, they're certainly ambitious, but the people of Harlow want a better town in which to live, to raise their family, to start a business, to work. And our job at Harlow Council is to serve the people of our town. It's to deliver on their priorities. So that's what our focus is.
What fixed council housing? When you talk about a backlog, how big is this backlog, and will this backlog ever be cleared?
Yes, it will. That is an absolute priority for this year, is to clear the backlog in housing repairs. At the moment, when tenants contact the council, and there are far too many tenants in this position, thousands, with outstanding repairs on their homes, it is taking too long for those problems to be sorted out. Our first priority this year is to fix council housing, so that is both the house itself and the process in which our council houses are allocated, because again, there are too many Harlow families in need of a council property that the process is not working for them. So we are going to fix council housing this year, as I said, as our first priority. That means radically changing the way in which we carry out housing repairs to properties to ensure that your home is fixed quickly, but it also means ensuring that our council homes are for Harlow's families.
How do you make sure, we're here at the council offices at the Water Gardens, how do you make sure that everybody's on board with you, that this is Team Harlow Council?
Yeah, well, the first thing that I've reaffirmed to all staff today is that our job is to serve the people of Harlow. That's what we're here for, nothing else, but it's to serve the people of Harlow. These are their priorities, so they are our priorities. And all of our focus this year will be solely on delivering these things, because there is no point, to be honest. I've heard of far too many strategies and plans and promises from the council. The people of Harlow, in large part, feel that the council does not deliver for them. So we are changing that. That is what we're setting out to do. This is not a political trick. There's no ambiguity to this. People will know whether we have delivered on their priorities or not come election time.
You talk about restore pride in Harlow. There is a lot of pride in Harlow anyway, isn't it? And there is a lot of, I know every weekend, certainly during the summer, I'm at events. Could be St Mary Latin Fete, or could be at Ash Tree Field with cricket, or Rock School in the Park. There's a lot of pride that way, isn't there? Are you talking about something different in relation to the council?
There's certainly a lot of pride, and as I've said to you before, Harlow's the best place I've ever lived. There's immense community spirit in Harlow, but again, I being frank, feel that the council has let people down over years. Both Harlow Council and Essex Council. Our roads are plagued with potholes, the street signs are broken, bent, and whatever else in between. The roundabouts do not look cared for. There are a great number of things like that really matter to people, whether it's the railings outside their homes that have been broken for the last 6 months, or the street sign at the end of their street which is covered in graffiti. It's restoring pride in the place that we live, and people will be proud to call Harlow home once again. How many times have I heard from residents that Harlow used to be a wonderful place to live? The streets were immaculate, it was clean and tidy, and that's no longer the case. That's, again, that's what we've listened to people about, and restoring pride is one of our priorities.
But is it almost what we call a Sisyphean task? We talk about litter and pride, because it's human beings are putting that litter there, not the council, and it must be very difficult to have to keep. You've got your Wombles, many great Womble groups. Potter Street is one example, but it's a hard task, isn't it? Trying to keep this place tidy.
It certainly is, but people pay their council tax. They go to work, they pay their council tax for the council to provide them a service. And I'm saying that I've heard loud and clear that too many people feel that Harlow Council is not delivering for them. So we've listened to them and set out these 5 priorities, and that's what we'll be delivering.
When will the town centre look like it's regenerated?
It's going to take a few years. Construction takes of the scale that we are talking takes a few years. But what residents will see this year In 2023, there's construction underway, things being demolished, things happening. You know, we've secured tens of millions of pounds to deliver this. This is not the promise that politicians have made to people for the last 25 years and not delivered. This is not a new flower bed or a new table tennis table. We're talking about the complete rebuilding of Harlow Town Centre, which is one of our priorities, that we've secured £23 million as part of the Towns Fund, £20 million as part of the Levelling Up Fund, thanks to the work of Robert Halfon. And on top of that, we've last week announced the new Harlow Regeneration Partnership, which will deliver this regeneration. We've got the £50 million Harlow Investment Fund. We're securing massive investment into our town to rebuild the town centre.
Talking about your partnership with the Hill Group, is that roughly how many council houses are we talking about? We're talking about hundreds?
We're talking about hundreds of council houses. This year, we will have a number, again, this financial year, we will have a number of schemes underway. A number of council house building schemes across the town, in construction, well on the way to completion. And over the coming years, thanks to the Regeneration Partnership we've set up, we will be delivering hundreds more Harlow homes for Harlow families.
One of your points, as we're going point by point, you mentioned secure investment into Harlow. You talk about, things this probably echoes with Robert Halfon. You mentioned the word apprenticeships. Is that how are you going to achieve that? Is that working with partners at Harlow College, etc.?
Yeah, absolutely. It's Harlow Council's job is also to lead this town. It's to work with those partners, whether it be the new hospital that we had confirmed a few weeks ago and the hundreds of millions of pounds that we've secured working with the hospital, with government, with Robert Halfon to do that, whether it's the over £20 million that's been invested into Harlow College in recent years, creating thousands of apprenticeships, whether it's the Harlow Innovation Park, thanks to the Enterprise Zone and backing businesses, but also the small and medium-sized enterprise businesses that are already in the town and what the council is doing to provide them the facilities they need to help them grow, to create jobs and apprenticeships.
Are you full time now? And is that, I know you're the leader, but are you able to dedicate nearly 9 to 5 and beyond to this?
Being a councillor, particularly a leader of a council, is not a 9 to 5 job. But fundamentally, I'm in a very privileged position. Our job, as I've said, is to deliver on people's priorities. Today we've set out 5 clear priorities, and that's what myself and the cabinet members will be working night and day to do.